Welcome to another episode of Bargain Saturdays, and this week I also decided to take out my 25 Gangsters Classic Collection and take a look at Decoy, First Arrest. And Decoy is a TV series from 1957 to 1958, starring Beverly Garland as Casey Jones. And yes, this is set in New York City, which makes me wonder if Casey Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is named after her. Another interesting factoid for this one is that this is the first, American police drama that featured a female police officer as the main character. So, we were breaking some new ground with this one back in the late 50s. Unfortunately, despite being called First Arrest, this actually isn't the first episode. It's the 38th episode out of 39. It's called First Arrest because Casey's approaching another female police officer that joined the force like 3 weeks ago, and is sitting on a bench kind of moping and crying a bit.
A kid, 16 years old. I caught her swiping a pen and pencil set from one of the souvenir places. A nice-looking kid. She started to cry and begged me to give her another chance. I feel like a heel.
So she had to run him in. And he was so contrite, said he or she would never do it again, And Casey's like, yeah, it can be hard sometimes to arrest people, especially your first time. Let me tell you how my first arrest went. So he basically get a flashback to, her first case where she's going undercover in Coney Island because apparently there's a person on the main street somewhere that's selling stolen goods. We got a fencer, and it's her job to figure out who it is and arrest them. So to try and, fit in, she decides to get a job as a belly dancer. A job that really catches everyone's attention.
A job that required more nerve than skill.
And luck would have it that, the guy that starts to fall for her is our fencer. Yeah, they try to fake us out into thinking he's not really the fencer despite his suspicious behavior, like, oh, this is just part of a bet to see how far he can get with her, with his best friend, so he got some money on the side going there. Or, maybe the box he just went and got on a side street is stolen goods, or maybe it isn't. Or maybe, this fancy necklace he just gave her as a gift, after, like, a date or something, is stolen goods. Like, oh, no, it's a family heirloom he got from his mom. Because she's like, this is the woman I want to marry, Mom. I need something fancy to impress her. So she hands over, the family necklace. And she gives it back only for him to finally reveal that, yes, he finally got that fur coat size 10 she'd been badgering him about the entire episode. And of course, running the kind of stuff he was doing in Coney Island, shooting range, he didn't have that kind of money. Mink fur coat, that's really expensive. So after that, she runs to like the phone booth and calls her boss, and she's just like, I don't know what to do at this point. She's like, well, is he running from the scene? She's like, no, he's waiting for me. Do you have your gun? She's like, yes. Do you have your handcuffs? She's like, yes. And he's like, then go arrest him. Like if he's selling and getting stolen goods, knowingly, he gotta run him in. So she goes and arrests him. Though it does try and play it off, it's just a friendly journey with his best friend, because you don't want to, ruin his reputation more than you have to before it hits the papers, right? But yeah, I just couldn't get that into the episode, to be honest. It just moved at too slow a pace for me. And plus, it's somewhat predictable. I'm like, this has to be the guy. Because they spent too much time on him. There's not even hints that there being another guy that could possibly be the guilty party. So I'm like, they have to reveal at some point, he's the dude, right? And they did. Like, come on, you gotta give me some other characters to follow to try and fake me out into thinking, he isn't really the guilty party that she was looking for. But, yeah, I mean, if you enjoy the Decoy TV series, more power to you. I thought it was kind of boring. Maybe it's just because it's gotten so old, it's just kind of quaint nowadays.
This may come as something of a shock to you, Jones, but before we can make an arrest, we need something more than intuition, something called evidence. Now find me one piece of stolen property in Willie's possession and we're in business, not before.